So, in my last video, I spoke about how I was trying to be more consistent at the gym, but ironically, I haven't been as consistent as I've wanted to when it comes to uploading to this channel. My goal at the start of this year was to upload at least 30 videos onto YouTube, but I've only managed to upload 3, which is far off from my goal. But I know I'll lose if I stop trying. So here's my shot at uploading just one more video right before the year ends, and no better way to wrap up the year 2022 than just to talk about the one thing that I've learned this year, the one thing that I've learned in 2022. So at the start of this year, I was in my final semester of university. And just to give you guys a bit of context, this was the first semester where everything was back to physical classes. So you can imagine my uni life as being the first ever semester as being physical classes, and then 2 years of just being stuck in online classes because of COVID. And then we're ending in the final semester with just having one last shot of physical classes for me. So I know it kind of can seem that COVID really messed up my university life in a way. But yeah, back to the story. I was in my final year of university and I couldn't help but feel sick and tired of studying, And coming from an Asian family, you're always pushed to get good grades. And growing up, I was a very studious kid. I spent a lot of my time studying throughout primary school, high school, and even in university. I spent most of my time studying. But yeah, in this semester, I just felt kind of sick of it. And it kind of annoyed me that I was bounded to a grade. Don't get me wrong, education is really important and it opens up a lot of doors for people. But I just felt a bit sick of my assignments and the hours that I had to spend studying for exams. And there's also this small part of you, especially when you're in university, and you think about, there's this small part of you that thinks about if you're gonna apply this when you start working. So yeah, all these thoughts were just creeping up on me, and I couldn't help but think about how my life would be when I start work, Because at least then, like I'll get paid to do stuff, Like I might not enjoy it 100%, but I'm getting paid, and money's good, and the money would make me happy, So in May this year, right after my exams ended, I thought I was ready to enter the workforce. So a month after my exams ended in June, I started work, and when I started working, a whole bunch of other things started to creep up on me. First one was that I started to feel the pressure, When you're in uni, your lecturers don't really care if you miss a class, and sometimes the classes are so big, your lecturers don't even know your name. But when I was at work, I couldn't help but think about what my supervisors and my colleagues would think of me, because like, hey, there's this new guy, and I'm sure they're thinking like, there's this new guy. I'm wondering if he's gonna meet our expectations. So I felt this kind of pressure that everyone was watching me at work. Second, like I felt like I didn't have that control over my time, because in university, your classes are planned out throughout the semester and everything is laid out for you. So there are some peak periods where you're going to be busy, but one thing's for sure is that you have control over your time. But at work, there was a lot of ad hoc requests and ad hoc tasks that you have to do, and you can't really, and if someone comes up to you and asks you a question, you can't be like, hey, leave me alone, I really want to work on this thing. No, you gotta help them, because one day you're gonna need that help from them. So you gotta be nice to them and you gotta entertain them. That's just part of work, So yeah, I felt like I didn't have control over my time, because a lot of ad hoc requests were coming in, and then projects were starting to pile up, and it was eating away. And another thing was that I really, really missed having lunch with my friends. That last semester when it was all physical, like I was spending the most amount of time with my friends, and I just missed those times. But then at work, at the time when I joined, like I was still new, I was fresh, so I didn't really know much of the people in my team, let alone in my department, and I kind of felt out of place. So I kept thinking about like how I missed spending time with my friends. So here you have it. Like when I was in uni, I kept thinking about how I was sick of studying of assignments, and I was sick of prepping for exams, and I just didn't like the fact that I wasn't even sure if I was going to apply the things that I learned in work. And now here I am at work, where I wanted to be. I feel this sense of pressure that everyone's watching me. I felt like I didn't have control over my time. I felt like I was spending a lot of time at work, and further, I felt like I miss I started to miss spending time with my friends. And then I started to question myself, like when I was in uni, all I wanted to do was work. But now that I'm in work, that now that I'm working, I miss my uni life. So what's wrong? Like, am I missing something? Is there something that I'm not seeing? And then it kind of hit me. If I keep focusing on what's lacking, then that's all that I'm gonna see. That's all that I'll see. So instead of me thinking about how I can't wait to get to uni because of exams, I should have thought about how I should have been happy that I was able to spend time with my friends that final semester, you know? I should have been thinking about that. And at work, instead of worrying about all the tasks that I have to do, you know, and stressing out about the pressure, I should be happy that I'm in a place or I have this opportunity where I get to learn a lot of new things and I get to meet new people. And yes, I'm put in uncomfortable situations each day, but I'm growing, you know, and that's good. I'm getting paid to learn all these things. So I should have been focusing on that instead. And there's this really good quote that I read from this book by Cal Newport, this book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. And the quote was, the sum of your life and your thoughts is a combination of the things that you focus on. I'm not going to tell you that the moral of this story is that you need to be more optimistic, and that I learned that I needed to look at the bright side of things. If I were you, I probably wouldn't want to hear that too, because telling someone that you need to be more optimistic doesn't really get them anywhere. It kind of makes them more pessimistic if anything. However, the one thing that has helped me is just to be more grateful. That's what I realized, you know, and I do this now by writing at least one thing that I'm grateful for each day in my daily journal. And this has helped me a lot. So, because there's always something to be grateful for, you know, it can be something as simple and as the weather, or having a car to take you places, or having public transport, you know, and even friends and family that we take for granted every day, you know, just write about like how you're grateful to have them in your life. Instead of me trying to tell you to be more optimistic, I'm going to tell you that you should start being more grateful about the things that you have in your life. And one way to do that is to just start writing a gratitude journal, because that's helped me. And there's always something to be grateful for each day. So, yep, that was the one thing that I've learned this year in 2022. You know, I need to be more grateful and I need to be more present. You know, I can't keep thinking about how life is going to be better in the future, and I can't keep thinking about how my life was in the past. You know, I be present and I gotta focus on now and the good things about now, because if I focus on the bad things, it isn't going to get me anywhere, to be honest. So yep, if you made it this far into the video, I'm really, really, really grateful to have you here. I mean, it means a lot to me, like if you're watching this. So yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. And let me know down in the comments below, like if you've experienced anything similar, and what's the one thing that you've learned this year in 2022. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.